Hi, I'm Mike Davis from Scituate Community Television.
And I'm Al Banger. We're here at the Science Spectacular in the spring of 2016, ready to go see some kids who've done some spectacular things.
It's amazing. This is our third season with the Scituate Science Spectacular, and it seems like the time has gone just like that. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So today we're going to move on and interview some kids and have some fun. Aurora, I'm Mike Davis from Scituate Community Television.
Hi, how are you?
What are you doing here today?
So this is called Eat Like a Whale. So there's different types of whales. There's whales with teeth, and then there's whales with baleen. And baleen is made out of the same thing as your fingernails and your hair. It's called keratin. So there's different ways that whales can eat. So whales with baleen, which can be represented with a paintbrush because it has sort of the same type of consistency as hair. So a whale like a humpback whale is able to go down and do something called bubble netting. They go down to the bottom of the water and they swim around and they make bubbles. And then it scares all of the fish to come up in like a circle, and they're able to come up and open up and expand their pleats here, and they're able to take in all of this water and fish and krill, and they're able to close their mouth and then push all of the water through their baleen and keep the fish in. And then there's whales like dolphins, and they're toothed whales, so they're able to do something called lunge feeding, which is when they come and if they see their prey, they go and they catch it. Yeah, like almost like a shark or something, an animal with teeth. And then there's something called sand lance. That's not real. It's bait. And it'd be delicious. All of the whales like to eat sand lance. And so the sanctuary is almost like a big bowl of chicken noodle soup because all of the good stuff goes to the bottom. And so in the sanctuary there's trenches and plateaus, and the waves come and they hit the side of the plateau and bring up all the good stuff. It's also like a big food court because there's so many different types of fish and everything. And the whales, they migrate from our sister sanctuary in the Dominican Republic. It's a great place. You should come and see it if you go on a whale watch or something. It's so much fun to volunteer, so thank you so much.
Well, thank you. You're at what school?
Gates. And this is my friend Hannah. She was helping with the exhibit too.
I'm good. How are you?
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. And you're at Gates. Wow, that was amazing.
Environmental.
How long have you been involved?
2 years now. You start when you join Environmental Club, and it's so much fun. Yeah.
Well, I'm very, very happy. Thank you so much. It's a wonderful presentation. Thank you.
All right, here we are, ready to talk with Scituate Facts about something very interesting. Look at this heading up here. What's so special about the teenage brain? So, tell us, what's this all about?
So this is a presentation from Dr. Harris. Dr. Harris is a researcher at Harvard Medical School, and she works at Children's in Boston also. She was here last week in Scituate giving a presentation to the high school juniors ahead of prom. And so she was telling us about how the brain develops. They used to think that adolescent brain developed and was finished developing at the age of 12, but now they see that during the time between the age of 12 and 20, the brain is still developing, and the effect of substances at that stage has a much more powerful impact than once we got past the age of 20. So we're sort of really hammering home the message that that's why we don't have a legal drinking age until we're age 21, and just the effect of how you can, the younger age that you start with substances, the more likelihood you have of addiction.
That's great. So this is outreach to students as well as parents.
Outreach to students and parents, yes. And we had a lot of students from the junior class come to the meeting, and there were great prize giveaways donated by the community for the prom.
That's great. Now, who are these two young women who are with you?
The students here with me are Taylor McCormick.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Casey Kelleher.
Casey Kelleher.
Hello, Stacy. How are you?
Casey.
Casey, excuse me. So tell me what you've set up here. How did this get put together?
Well, this is mostly like Scituate Facts did this with the research, but we a couple of years ago made a social norming campaign that was basically promoting students, not using drugs or alcohol, and just promoting the fact that most people don't use those things, and it's the norm to not be using drugs or alcohol. So it's just promoting that positive message.
That's great. In other words, there's a lot of attention placed on using people and not on the rest of the population that is not using.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great idea. Well, thank you very much for being with us. And how did you participate?
I was also part of the social norming campaign along with Casey. We had different groups, but I did the same project.
Well, great. Well, thanks for doing this. Well, here we are with another interesting exhibit with two young students who are going to tell us about what they've done in their Science Spectacular project. And your names are?
Emerson Ames and Cora O'Donnell.
Hi, Emerson and Cora. How are you? So, tell us about your exhibit here.
So we made a movie projector using a box, a magnifying glass, an iPad, black construction paper, a foam board, black tape, glue, an X-Acto knife, a Bluetooth speaker. We cut a hole into the box and we put a magnifier, and we put an iPad or a device in the box, and then we put it in a dark room and on a wall. And then we had a problem at first with it because the image was coming out upside down, so we flipped the magnifying glass over.
That was a good idea. And are you in her same class?
Yeah.
And how did you two get together to work on this?
Well, we had a lot of play dates.
Oh, that's special, huh?
Yeah.
Did you do a lot of work on those play dates, or just a lot of playing too?
A lot of playing.
A lot of playing?
Yeah, a lot of playing.
Well, that's the important thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with science projects, you can do the fun work part, learn something, and play.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you for your project. Nice talking with you.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Mike from Scituate Community Television. How are you? And your name?
Good. My name is McKenna Monahan.
And you're from where? What school?
I'm from Inley School in Scituate,
Yeah.
but I live in Norwell.
You live in Norwell, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to tell us a little bit about your project?
Sure.
You want to tell us a little bit about your project?
Sure. My thesis is I believe that there's more than one way for humans and dogs to effectively communicate. And here I displayed the ways that dogs communicate and the ways that humans communicate. And then I did a Venn diagram of the ways that they both communicate. And there's only one way that dogs communicate separately, and that's olfactory. And that means sniffing. And so, yeah.
Okay, so is this true that dogs are actually humans? Only in this section here?
That's what my friend Jaden did too. Dogs are actually smarter than you think.
I was reading it wrong. I was going to go home and start talking to the dog. All right. Well, so this is interesting because where we overlap.
Yeah. So what happens is there's actually people would think that humans have more ways since people don't give dogs a lot of credit. But actually dogs have more ways of communicating, and humans and dogs both communicate in these two ways. So as you can see here, they both communicate tactually and vocally, and this means body language, and this means using voice. So.
But people don't bite dogs, but dogs might bite people.
Yes. If they are aggravated, then they will bite you.
Well, thank you so much. It was wonderful.
so much.
Have a great evening. Thank you.
Well, this looks like a very interesting project. What's your name?
I'm Jaden Lee.
How do you do, Jaden? Nice to meet you. What is your project exactly?
I did a project on how virtual reality impacts the military's training programs.
Can you tell us what you've done?
Yeah, sure. I made a PowerPoint on how it works and basically the basics of virtual reality. So I made a slideshow and I just talked about a bunch of the different things, and this is what is my topic and thesis. So I did virtual reality, and this is my thesis. I believe that virtual reality training is the best form of alternative training for the military. And so a lot of people don't know what virtual reality is, so I kind of just wanted to make it known. So virtual reality is a computer-produced simulation of a three-dimensional world that can interact with you in an apparently real way by a person using specific equipment like a helmet with goggles. virtual reality is not just for the military. It's for the public too. A lot of kids and teenagers, and sometimes even adults, use virtual reality to make their games have a better experience with their games. They make it more realistic and make higher suspense. So I have a video that's what does it look like when they actually train. So I can just play it for you guys.
This is really interesting.
Yeah, I like this video because it really shows how they operate and how important it is to their training program. So as you can see right there, they have a lot of pads on just because they're kneeling down sometimes, in real battle situations. They have motion sensors, those white things on their bodies, to track their movements, so it will broadcast that in the game. That's what they're seeing right now, and that's what they're doing. They have training guns that shoot when they're shooting in the game, and the goggles over their faces are to simulate that world.
That's fascinating. Well, that's a great study, and I sense that you were really interested in this whole area of computers and virtual reality.
Yeah, I like to say that I am interested in gaming, and it's a really interesting career that people can make a living, and a good living, out of just sitting around and playing video games like what a lot of kids do these days.
Well, that's great. Well, I wish you the best on your potential career.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for doing this.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, I'm Mike.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And your name?
Patrick.
And what school are you in?
Wampatuck.
Oh, you wanted me to wait a bit? Okay. And your name?
Brendan.
And what school are you in?
Cushing.
Aha, well, tell us a little bit about your project. Who's going to talk first? Who's going to talk first?
We would blow up we would blow up this balloon, and we would put it on here, which we would time it, and right there is the time data. And then our guess was the big balloon would stay the longest because it had the most air, and we were correct. And we tried it out. But we took 5 turns for each large balloon, medium balloon, and small balloon. Yeah. And now to Brendan. And the large balloon, it had these, and see the large, medium, small. And the ingredients are the balloon, the DVDs, valve or pop cap, timer, and duct tape.
And what was your conclusion?
Our conclusion was correct that a big balloon would have the most air. So that was pretty cool.
And is there anybody you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank my mom, my aunt, and my family. Thank you.
And how about you? You want to thank him?
Yeah, I'd thank him, my mom, my aunt, and the people who came up with the idea to make hovercrafts.
Well, perfect. And I'd like to thank both of you. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. Bye-bye.
Well, here we are at the volcano, and I have 2 young ladies who are going to tell us about their work with volcanoes. So what are your names?
I'm Autumn. I'm Piper.
Hi, April. How are you? Piper. Piper and Autumn. That's great. So who wants to talk about the project? Okay.
It's both.
Talk together.
This is a baking soda volcano, and it's a paper mache, and I can explain about the ingredients. And it will explode.
What?
It will explode.
Go on. Can you make it explode?
Yes.
Oh.
We'll make it
okay.
explode right now. And my sister can make it explode while I talk about the ingredients.
Okay. So you want to explain something while she's getting ready?
Yes.
So how do you make it explode? Baking soda.
Baking soda and vinegar. The baking soda is a base and vinegar is an acid. So if you combine them, it makes a reaction, and which makes it explode.
I see. Do you have to wear your safety glasses when you do it?
Yes, because it could like fizz up, and like we pretty much think that it's
Oh, there it
gonna
goes.
be
It's going
quiet.
now. Oh my goodness,
Well,
look
it's
at that.
going. Goes. Right now, but we can make it explode even more.
You can make it go even more?
Yeah. Do that.
Say that again?
Well, that usually doesn't exactly happen.
Oh. Have you poured the vinegar in already?
Yes, and then it started to pop up, so I was like,
Oh,
so
man.
I was like, wait, take it off. I could add in more vinegar. Vinegar?
Whoa. Is that the way it's supposed to work?
Yes, but mostly it wasn't exactly.
I see why you're wearing a lab coat now. Hooray, it worked. Thank you very much, ladies.
Hi, my name's Mike. Your name?
My name's Riley.
Riley. And what school are you in, Riley?
I'm in Jenkins.
You're in Jenkins School. You're in Jenkins School, excuse me. And what is your project about?
My project is about magnet navigation because I have a toy turtle and he always keeps bumping into the sides of its tank. So I thought maybe if I put magnets on him and put them in a direct place, then they would work. Then he would not hit the sides.
And did it work?
Not exactly.
Not exactly as you planned?
I tried it and again, and it worked sometimes and sometimes it didn't.
And so this represents your turtle?
This is my turtle, and he's swimming through it, and then he just keeps hitting the sides like that. He just keeps hitting the sides. So I wanted to put magnets on him, but it didn't really work. It didn't.
Well, so what was your conclusion?
I was incorrect.
Well, that's good that you understood that at least. But thank you so much for your time. It was wonderful talking to you. Take care.
Take care.
This looks like a very interesting experiment called Plant Potion.
Yes.
What's your name?
Jackson.
How do you do, Jackson? And your name?
My name's Henry.
Hi, Henry. How are you? So, who would like to tell us about this project?
We were watering the plants with different things to see if the stuff we came up with, Plant Potion, actually works. This is frozen Plant Potion. This is sugar water. This is Plant Potion. This is water. This is salt water, and this is Plant Magic, a store-bought fertilizer. And yeah.
We had this graph right here. At first we thought the Plant Potion would do the best since it was going up, but then suddenly after a week it went straight down for some reason. We don't know exactly why. Water was really steady and it went up fast. And then the salt water, of course, it just went straight down. And we were really surprised that the
Plant Magic stuff, it was a store-bought thing, but water did way better than.
Upwards for the camera.
Yeah.
So what's that one again? That's a store-bought?
Yeah, that's store-bought Plant Magic stuff.
Oh, it didn't work too well?
No, it didn't.
So what seemed to work the best?
Well, it was frozen Plant Potion was doing the best, but now water's doing the best.
Show that one.
Yeah.
So that's the best one, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And that was just?
This was just water.
You mean good old Scituate water? Yes?
Yeah.
That's great to hear. So we'll all have to go talk to the water department and ask them what they're putting in there to make things grow. Thanks a lot, boys.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Mike.
Hi, I'm Abby.
You're Abby.
Yes.
Abby, and you're from what school?
I'm from Inley School.
And the Inley School is here in Scituate?
Yeah.
And you live in Scituate?
Yes.
You live in Scituate? Okay. Hopefully you got that. So tell us a little bit about your project.
Okay, so I'm doing what muscles function while doing gymnastics, because I know that you have a lot of muscles in your body and you use muscles a lot while doing gymnastics, so I'm kind of explaining that. And
You're going to explain it to me?
sure. So your muscles contract and relax, which is like flexing and just relaxing your muscles. And when that happens, it's when you're doing your skills in gymnastics, that's what happens. And then also your shoulders have to pop when you're doing different skills too. And I have a video too that I've been showing all the people that come to my station.
All right, well, we won't probably be able to watch the video, but you can tell us a little bit about what this represents. Let me get out of the way here.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
We'll mess up the cameraman for sure.
Yeah. So I have a bunch of these different muscles. So I have like the abdomens, the biceps, and those are sort of the main muscles you use while doing gymnastics, and that's what I know.
Okay, well, thank you so much. And obviously, do you have anybody you'd like to thank that helped you with your project at all?
Yes. I would like to thank all the 6th graders at Inley School, my mom, my Tess, my sister, Foxy, my grandma, my dog Peppy, my phone, my iPad, and my teachers Doug and Amanda, and yeah.
Wow, it sounds like you had quite a crowd. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, here we are at the next exhibit. This looks really interesting, called Capstone. Are you Wesley?
Yes, I'm Wesley.
How do you do, Wesley?
Good, how are you?
Good. So tell us about what your idea was in your experiment and in your work here, your research.
My dad has type 1 diabetes, so I wanted to do my project on that. And it's a year-long project called Capstone, where we research something of a subject of our choice. And I chose diabetes.
So what did you study, and what I see something up here about sugar cubes. Why don't you tell us about what you learned?
So diabetes is a chronic disease, meaning it never goes away. And if you eat sugar and your insulin does not break it down, then your blood sugar rates will go up, and therefore you'll have either fasting glycemia and postprandial glycemia, which is 130 milligrams and 180 milligrams.
I see. And what is this exhibit up here about the sugar cubes?
So the sugar cubes just shows you that, like, you wouldn't eat this many sugar cubes, so I drink it because it's bad for you. And it would give your blood sugar levels up. It would bring them up. And that's it's just not healthy.
Well, so give us an example. We can't quite on the camera see what's up there. So some products have how many?
Gatorade has 23 sugar cubes. Tropicana orange juice has 15 sugar cubes. Vitamin water has 13 sugar cubes. A Sprite has 16 sugar cubes. A Coca-Cola has 27. And a Snapple has 18 sugar cubes.
That's incredible. There's so many sugar cubes and that many sugar cubes in each one of those drinks. Yes.
Yeah.
So that leads to health problems, doesn't it?
Yes, it could.
Good. Well, thank you very much for doing this research and for talking with us today. Thank you. So here we are at a very interesting exhibit from a young McCusker. What's your name?
Miles McCusker.
How do you do, Miles? Can you tell us about what you did here?
Well, I made a model, and over here we have some history of toilets. In 1596 in England, Sir John Harrington had an idea for the flush toilet. And 200 years later, Alexander Cummings made a better toilet, and in the late 1800s, Thomas Crapper improved the toilet and made it popular. So down here we have how a toilet works. When you flush, a chain attached to a flapper, see figure 1 right here, pulls up, allowing the water in the tank to drain into the bowl. See figure 2, which when too much water goes into the bowl, the dirty water goes into the siphon. See model right here. And the clean water stays in the bowl. Water from the pipes goes up into the tank when the water rises. When the water rises, it makes a float. See figure 3, move up on a pipe, and when it fully rises, the water stops rising. And over here we have why toilets are important.
So what interested you in this project?
I had a second grade project. We were reading about George Washington Carver, and we were supposed to do for a writing packet. We were supposed to write another cool invention, so I did the toilet, and I became so obsessed with it, I wanted to do a science spectacular on it.
Well, that's a great idea. And so what is the purpose of this water left in there?
It stops gases from coming back and rising. Should I demonstrate the model?
Yes, yeah, that'd be great. Now, why is that? Why did you make that yellow color?
Just to be realistic.
Oh.
And then over here, this is like Potty Talk the sequel, so you should go check that out. It's my brother.
Okay, we'll go check that out. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Max McCusker.
Hi, Max.
Max. Yeah.
Thank you for correcting me. So what do you have here?
Well, I decided to do the science of toilet paper, and so what we did was we spread toilet paper out on blocks like that, as you can see.
Step back just a little bit
Okay.
so we can see it. Yeah, so this is your demonstration here, yes?
Yeah. And then we took a medicine dropper right here to drop drops of water onto the toilet paper and see how many drops it took to the toilet paper not break, but like give in, like drip in on the other side. And I guess Angel's soft up there because it's 2-ply and it's very soft. And we had 3 types: Scott, Cottonelle, and Angel Soft. And we used those different types. And we use those types because Angel Soft is the most popular. Cottonelle is the type I use at my house, and Scott is just regular 1-ply. So yeah, that's my project, and I was correct because Angel Soft was the strongest. It took 18 drops. Cottonelle took 12, and Scott took 10.
So in other words, the winner was in this Angel Soft. Is that right?
Yeah, that's.
Yes. Okay. Well, if you do this again next year, try it also with puffs made by Procter & Gamble.
Okay.
Okay.
But also, if you'd like to see this in action, I have some Angel Soft laid out. Would you like to see it? Okay. It should take around 18. Sometimes it's less or more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, it's dripping through.
Oh, it's starting to drip through, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So that's my project.
Very good. Well, thank you very much for showing us your project and for doing it.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name's Mike, and your name is?
Aislinn, Caitlin, Allison.
And who's going to tell me a little bit about your project? You all will? Well, you got to do it individually, okay? A little bit.
So the high tide is when the tide is at the highest, and the low tide is when the water is at the lowest. Yeah.
Do you have anything more to add?
The first question we want to answer is, what is a tide? It is the rise and fall of the sea level caused by the gravitational pull of the sun and the moon.
Okay. And what did you find out?
We found out that I always thought there was only one high tide and one low tide, but then I figured out up here
that there are 2 low tides and 2 high tides.
And how long between each one?
6 hours, but for the low tide and the high tide, it's 12 hours, but for each of the high tides and each of the low tides, it's 6 hours.
6 hours. And what else did you find out?
That
Is there something that you found out?
spring tides are in the full moon and the new moon.
And is there something that you found out?
Yes. The moon's gravity pulls on the earth and pulls the water towards it.
Okay, well that sounds like a fun project.
It was very, very fun.
It was very, very fun. Do you have anybody you want to thank all together?
I want to thank my mom and my dad for supporting us. I don't know. I want to thank my mom for letting me do this with phasing, and I also want to thank that girl over there, Jennifer O'Leary, because she helped me and Aisling do it.
And we want to thank all 3 of you. Thank you so much. Scituate Community Television. And your name?
Nikolai.
And your name?
Liam. Byron.
So the 3 of you are in this project, and who's going to tell me about the project, a little bit about it?
I'm doing it first and then I'm doing this, and then he's doing
Let me get over here. Okay. So who's going to tell me?
And then he's just doing this.
Okay, so you're going to tell me about your part first?
So, we're doing how does air pressure and water volume influence rocket height? And the definition of thrust is the force that moves a rocket into the air. Our thrust was caused by the air pressure we pumped into a rocket. And then Isaac Newton said, it's his 3rd law, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. So, for example, this is our thrust. The action is down here, but the reaction is it goes up. And then we have the altitude, how high an object is. So we use this to measure the altitude. You hold it there, highest point, let go, it gives you the number of feet right here and the angle. And then we have air pressure, the force given off by air, or how much air we pumped into a rocket. We measured this with an air pump using PSI. PSI is the pound of force per square inch. So, like in this bottle, we pump the PSI, the gauge says 40 PSI. Then when it's trying to get out, and when it's full, it goes up.
Okay, well that's interesting. So you learned a lot when you did this project.
Yep.
And about this project, what part of it is yours now? This side over here?
No, this right here. So on this one, we discovered that when we set off our rockets, they went higher with more air pressure, PSI, in the rocket bottle. For example, when we added 10 or 20 PSI, the rocket didn't even move. It didn't move because there was not enough thrust. When we added 30 on trial 1, 2, and 3, it went 48 feet high. But when we added 40 PSI, it went 73 feet. Finally, when we put 50 PSI in the rocket, it went 100 feet. We discovered that when we added 2 or 4 cups of water to the rocket bottle, it went higher. But we added too much but when we added too much water, like 6 or 8 cups, it went lower. We think this is because there was way too much extra weight in the rocket. We think the reason the rocket goes higher with 2 cups of water than no water is because the water acts like extra thrust. Maybe it slows down the air rushing out, so it rushes for longer. So on this is it. So on trial 1 and 2, you can see we got no launch, and then we got no launch of 20, and then we got 45 degrees, 45 degrees, 40 degrees, and the average was 45, and the height was 73 feet. And then for 50, it went 100 feet. So I think now it's Nikolai's turn. So.
Okay, so this is a diagram of what happened when the air came into the rocket.
So this is before the air came in, and after the air came in and pushed down on the water, it actually squeezed the water down. So then when the rocket launched, it made extra thrust.
It made extra thrust, and then you kept the weight down too? If you put too much water in, you said it would diminish the height.
Yep.
So that was a good thing to learn. Who do we have to thank for this? We have to thank that man, huh?
Yep.
Isaac Newton.
Yep.
All right, and anybody else you want to thank
Not sure.
that helped you with your project?
My dad technically helped us with the definitions and things. Yeah. And yep.
Okay. So we want to thank all three of you. Thank you.
And maybe if we have more time, we could take you outside, but it seems like you don't have the time. Yeah. So, and we could actually launch it. We're launching it later.
Well, plus you need to stay by your table and answer questions from people like me. Thank you.
Well, here we are at the next exhibit. This one looks very interesting. It's about Braille. So these two young gals are going to tell us about it. What is your name?
I'm Alexa. And I'm Lizzie.
Hi, Lizzie. Hi, Alexia. Well, tell us about your project.
Well, we're doing a project about Braille because we were wondering if a sighted person can take the same test as a non-sighted person in Braille and receive 100%. So yeah, that's what we kind of thought.
So how did you do it?
Well, we're working with our helper Alex, and he actually got us real Braille, and we are asking people to take the test, and most of the people didn't receive 100%, but 4% of the people actually did, and it was we just got it cause my cousin, my second cousin, he actually was born with no eyes, and it was a really rare thing, and he always read Braille to me, and I was so interested by it, and I was really
That's good. So are you able to read Braille?
Well, not really, but I can usually tell our 4 words that we're doing for the test.
I see. And so tell me about your involvement.
Well, I helped make the poster with Lexi, and we were at the Scituate High School working on our project, and we actually got free time to do the test and receive our grades, and it was really fun.
That's great. Did anybody help you with your project? Did anybody you want to thank for this?
Well, I want to thank actually my mom right there because she was helping out a lot.
That's good.
And our mentor, Alex Ortiz.
And Alice is your mentor. Tell me what that means.
Well, our mentor helped us get most of our supplies. He was the person who actually gave us this Braille, and we were very grateful that we have it because it added a lot to our poster.
So your mentor is another student in Scituate's school system, and what grade is he in?
He's a high school mentor, and he's a high school mentor, and he has a friend that reads Braille, so we could provide.
That's a really nice part about this program is that high school students help younger students with projects. That's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
My name's Mike.
Hi, I'm Neil Sullivan.
And I'm Jordan Bertho.
All right, well, thank you so much. And you want to tell us a little bit about your project?
All right. So the title of our poster is Pitch Speed, and our hypothesis is, does the pitcher's grip on a baseball impact the pitch speed? And our dependent variable is the pitcher stands in the same spot. And our independent variable is you would throw different types of pitches by changing the grip on the baseball. And our data is we threw a fastball, a curveball, a changeup, knuckleball, and riser. And our procedures were get a baseball, set up the equipment, measure the distance, find a catcher or backstop, set up radar gun, have a person holding the radar gun set up, throw the baseball 5 to 10 pitches, record the results, and the materials were 1 baseball, 1 glove, 1 catcher, 1 radar gun, 1 tape measure, and over here is results are the fastest pitch was riser at 52 miles per hour.
and the slowest pitch was knuckleball at 34 miles per hour. And this player, he played on the Rays, but right now he's on the Red Sox. He throws 95 miles per hour for a fastball, 95 miles per hour for a sinker, 86 miles per hour for a change grip, and 90 miles per hour for a cutter. And my fastest pitch is 64, and my friend his fastest pitch is 55. And our conclusion is we were able to support high.
You were.
We were able
Oh, you
to
weren't.
we were able to support our hypothesis that the pitcher's grip on a baseball does impact the speed.
Well, wow. So, and these are real professional baseballs, right?
Yes.
All right. Show me a little bit about how you'd hold it. Just one example.
Okay, so what do you want to do? Let's do fastball.
This is a fastball.
Yes. So a fastball, a two-seam is like this with the laces, and a four-seam is you go across like this. And which I throw is I just barehanded. I don't know why, but it moves around a little. So when you throw it, it like sinks a little. Not it sinks, but it like goes really fast and it moves direction.
If you're throwing a curve, do you break it off with your?
A curve, like I don't know how to throw it, but it's like something like.
I throw my curve like this. Since I'm a lefty, I throw my curve like this.
Okay, so you can get a grip on the seam.
Yeah. So my index finger goes here on this seam, and then I just move my wrist, and it just goes like that, and it snaps, and then it changes, and then it curves around on the plate.
And then I strike out.
Yes.
Thank you so much. It was wonderful. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
Here we are at another capstone project, and we're going to talk with Seth. Hi, Seth.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. So tell us about your project.
Okay, well, at Inley School, the 6th graders did a year-long capstone project, and we each had to create a thesis. And my thesis is, I believe our memory system is better suited for learning new things and not revisiting the past. And so with memory, there are 5 major kind of aspects. And first of all, there's false memories in general. And then there's something that I call data, which is distraction, anxiety, time, and age. And so for false memories, if you've ever been trying to look for your sunglasses when they're on your head, or you walk into a room and you forget why you're there, you will, you forgot about it. So
Let me just tell you, I do all of those things.
Okay, and we all do.
Oh.
But, so why do we forget? Why does this happen? So I believe it happens because there's a thing that goes on inside your brain called background electrical activity. And depending on what's happening around you, it kind of affects that. So it has to do with a little bit of distraction and anxiety. So, for example, right now, there's a lot of talk going on behind me and noise. So my background electrical activity would be raising. And when that happens, it can cause a signal noise problem, which is when there's a lot of background electrical activity and then you're trying to register a memory, and because of that, the memory can become incomplete or missing pieces or even having something that never actually happened. And that's because of the signal noise problem. But on the other hand, if there's not a lot of background electrical activity, then you can remember an event clearly and it'll be stored in like a happy place. And so that's pretty much false memories. Then for distraction, if anyone's ever watched the movie Up from Pixar, Doug, which is a dog, was distracted from his mission when he ran into Mr. Fredrickson and Russell. And the reason he was distracted was because his attention was actually split, because he was supposed to be following his mission when he ran into Mr. Fredrickson and Russell. So it became harder for him to remember what he was supposed to do. And for another example, if everyone's ever been trying to write an email and also listen to someone talk, then your attention is again split, and maybe you could be typing and someone would say something, and then you type in that, like what they said. So just because your brain redirects things and kind of gets confusing, so it would actually affect your memories. And distraction is actually similar to anxiety, because anxious people do a lot of thinking, and with all this thinking, they could be, they're not really focusing on the present moment. So again, the attention is split because from thinking and being in the moment, so they won't remember an event as well. And so that's pretty much anxiety. And then depending on your age, when you're a pre-adolescent growing to an adolescent, you gain more knowledge of the world, and as you do that, your brain becomes more filled and it becomes bigger, not really physically but mentally, and that kind of caps out around the college years. And what happens is by that time you do continue growing, obviously, but your cerebral cortex, which is a thin layer of gray matter that goes around your two cerebral hemispheres, it actually becomes thinner and it starts to shrink. And because of that, it actually affects the memory as you age. So older adults might not be able to remember as much as younger adults because the cerebral cortex is thinner.
That's it. Very interesting. What is your theory on studying with a television on, or talking about distractions and that sort of thing? What does studying with a television on, or say maybe earphones on, listening to music, is that distraction, or enhance or detract from memory?
Well, I think that that would be a negative thing for memory, because the attention is split between studying and listening to music. And I watched another capstone project today, and he told me that your eyes and ears can also work together, but if you're looking at something and you hear it, it could be different than if you just hear it. So studying and listening to music would make maybe your answers or how you're focusing different.
Right. Okay. Well, that's very interesting. Sounds like you really have got a lot of interest in this area, and maybe you'll pursue it further.
Yes, I will.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we have the pleasure at this moment of talking to Mr. Howe, who is a judge of this event, and he had some very interesting comments to make. How are you?
I'm doing fine, and you?
Good, thank you. So what are you seeing?
I'm seeing a lot of projects here that have gotten closer to what science is about. They have better hypotheses, they have better test data, and they're reaching some better conclusions. They're really coming along over the 3 years this has been happening.
So you've been judging all 3 years?
I have, yes. And the judging here is a little bit informal, but I do judge at the regional science fair at the Bridgewater State University now.
Oh, great. And what is your background?
My father actually taught at Bridgewater State, and I went on to become a physicist, and now I do firmware for little pH meters.
Well, that's great. Well, thanks for being here and doing this. It's quite a nice thing to volunteer to do.
I really enjoy it.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Mike from Scituate Community Television, and your name is?
Lily.
Lily, how are you? Nice to I'm not going to shake your hand, it's all red. And your name?
My name is Eva Carpenter.
Eva Carpenter. Okay, well, tell us a little bit about your project, first of all.
So we made a volcano, and we made a volcano, and there's facts about really dangerous volcanoes and magma, and there's different pictures about them. And
so those are pictures of real volcanoes that you have here. Those.
Yeah. So I'll read some. There's actually a really cool fact that a volcano actually starts really small, and then every time it erupts, the magma dries up on the sides, and it gets bigger every time.
Okay. And are you going to show us this thing erupt? You're going to make it erupt?
So you make the soda first.
Should I stand back? We're going to watch this volcano erupt. Yes, there it is. It's erupting. How many times has it erupted today?
I have to say probably about 12 times. So it's kind of getting thin, and there's a water bottle inside. So we've been waiting for it to dry.
Okay, it works better when it's dry, does it?
Yeah, we actually have to wait a little bit so it can all settle inside of it.
Okay, well, thank you so much. We appreciate you telling us about your project. Is there anybody you'd like to thank? Anybody in the family?
Probably like my mom for buying all this stuff, and my dad for showing up and supporting us.
How about yourself? Anybody?
Mm-mm.
Nobody? Well, we thank you.
Thank you.
Well, here I am with Wesley, and Wesley started telling me about his anti-crash boat, and I asked him to hold on a minute so he could tell us more about it. So, you're Wesley.
Yes.
Go ahead and tell us about your project.
So last year I used opposing magnets to repel a boat away from the dock, but since they were rare earth magnets and the bottoms and tops attracted before it pulled the boat up out of the dock, out of the water and onto the dock. And so this year we used electromagnets. It's not that strong because we burned some of the battery out, but you can see it attracts this bar of metal. This is what we used inside the electromagnets after we coiled the wire around it. And so you can also feel it repel a little bit away from the dock.
Let me see. Oh yes, I can see it. It pushes the boat away so it doesn't bang against it.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Do you think this has applications? Do you think?
Maybe in the future.
Do you and your dad have a boat?
Yeah.
So this would keep it from bumping against the dock, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, great. Well, thank you very much for talking about your experiment.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Mike from Scituate Community Television.
I'm Connor Tobin. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Connor.
Jackie Thornton.
Jackie Thornton, and your project, can one of you explain it? Who?
So this project is the product of our senior capstone engineering class at Scituate High School. It's a senior-only elective, and what happens basically is we have a semester in our school, September to January, and we go. We pick a project, we kind of brainstorm it, do all the design pieces, and we take about 5 months to put it all together.
5 months, that's a significant period of time. How long in that 5 months, how many hours have you put into this?
Connor, do you want to talk about
It
that?
was pretty much, I want to say we met in class about 3 or 4 times a week, and every class was probably an hour, so however many classes that is, that's a lot of work. It was a very decent amount of time that was put into the project.
Well, it gives you a real world, I think, appreciation for some of the projects that you see. And so this is going to deliver a pizza to my house in 10 minutes?
Well, I mean, 10 minutes, we're still working on all the kinks. We wish we could fly it right now. But yeah, we actually can't. We have a video over here. We flew it out on the turf. It went up. It was successful. And it was an incredible feeling to actually know that it worked.
And this is something that we've heard Amazon is going to be doing, theoretically, some deliveries this way?
Hopefully. hopefully, I mean, maybe we should patent it before they can get their hands on it. But it's really, really awesome. As someone going into the engineering field, it's so cool to see stuff like that happening and knowing that, you know, that's something that I can do. That's something that we can do together. It's super gratifying.
Super gratifying. Is what you said.
Absolutely.
I took the mic away. I
It's
apologize.
okay.
So you tell me, like, how far away could you control this particular drone?
So we did a lot of specs to figure out.
A technical question. Technical question.
Yeah, I don't know. It was you have to be pretty close to get it off the initially to get it off the ground. You have to be pretty close.
Height-wise, we can go up to about 112 meters. That was a lot of algebra to kind of figure that out, but safely it's 112. At that point, if it dropped out of the sky and something happened, it might break. So we can control it at up to that height, even farther if we wanted to be a little risky. But
Wow, that's interesting. Okay, well, is there really a pizza in there?
there is not a pizza there. You got us. But there's one right down there. We can bring it over and show you guys. But
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate your time and good luck. Where you going from Scituate?
I'm going to UMass Amherst.
I'm going to Mass Maritime Academy.
Perfect. Congratulations and best of luck to you, both of you.